With the Epstein list coming out and more document dumps expected, there is one name that doesn't seem to make sense among the others: Stephen Hawking. Now that it is a fact that he was there at Epstein Island and some of his proclivities are being released, we can discuss it. We know Epstein's primary goal was to get dirt on powerful people and then blackmail them, so the businesses and politicians make sense. But why the famous physicist? You can't just say, oh, he was famous, so he went. It wouldn't waste time and resources if there wasn't a reason, a need to control Hawking like they controlled the politicians. The answer probably has to do with God, the universe, energy, and the Earth disaster cycle. Let's take that list in reverse. Stephen Hawking mentioned many times that Earth was due for a major catastrophe, even the fact that it was overdue. He touched on asteroids, climate change, and overpopulation in his later years, but his earliest mentions of it were discussions of Earth's magnetic field and the sun in addition to those other topics. All of that changed about a decade ago when he became far more focused on the mainstream discussion points of climate change and overpopulation. This was also the years that followed his visits to Epstein Island. Hawking had written several things earlier in his career on energy production as well, the kinds of things that I see shades of in more recent proponents of free energy. But perhaps most importantly was his propping up of black holes, dark matter, and the Big Bang Theory. While it is still ignored by mainstream scientists, there's been an unbelievable amount of information that has come out suggesting that black holes aren't what we think they are, that dark matter isn't real, and that the universe is full of an ambient energy not too different from the ether other than computational figures and physical characteristics. We made a full movie about this just a couple years ago. Governments have funneled tens of billions of dollars into these searches, especially for dark matter, with things like the Large Colliders. But according to insider Dr. Anthony Peratt, they already knew full well it's nonsense. This was from their tests several decades ago. Now, this is where things get very strange, because there's a lot of evidence that these colliders are actually something close to a stargate, types of portals, but not necessarily to other stars, two alternative dimensions coexisting on other planes outside of what we largely believe is reality. Hawking was in a position to eventually spill the beans on Earth's disaster cycle, free energy, and the real makeup of the universe and its history, including how we got here. We've been discussing the science. We've shown the evidence of the cover-ups, and even shown the evidence that some of the key voices in these sciences today are bought and paid for. If any of you have a better explanation for Hawking being at Epstein Island, their need to control him, I would love to hear it. But don't just say it was a random visit and there was no goal behind it. You should know better by now. I'll see you in the morning for the Daily Show. Be safe, everyone.